Man, you mentioned your name. I wanna ask you this. I don't know if you broke this down in the interview. Gangster, Terrance Gangster Williams. Um, Before you went to prison, how did you define a gangster, and how has that changed your perspective of what a gangster is? How you define it since you served that time and become a free man, and you're a lot more wise. Like, what was a gangster to you before you went to prison, and what is it to you now?
Well, a gangster before I went to prison and now is the same. My attitude was, when you step in, do not cooperate. Under no circumstance, do not cooperate. Take your charge, take your lick. Get money. If you have a problem, deal with it head on. Don't tuck your tail, no hiding, go step. My look at it now is it's watered down. People have favoritism now, and if you notice that the rats are winning. It's a lot of people who don't want to be called rat, so I'm not going to scream names. But you're a guy that's into social media, so now you see other people who've been labeled as a snitch, and you can name 5 that's been labeled as a snitch. Some of the biggest on YouTube. Now I don't know if they're really snitches, but they got the snitch allegations.
Yeah.
But they winning. So in his favoritism.
But that's your view. So your perspective on what a gangster is hasn't changed.
No, because a gangster can always be a gangster. Either when I was in the street or even I denounced it. When you look at, okay, he a gangster. He's somebody who's gonna handle his business. Somebody who's gonna get money. Somebody who's gonna hold his own. Who's gonna stand up in that mud.
Mm-hmm.
Don't cooperate. You accept your responsibility. Gangster gonna get the money, take care of the home. Take care of his family, take care of his hood. You got all aspects of being a gangster. Not just somebody who just mean mugging, just shoot the gun. Anybody can squeeze the trigger. A cow would kill if he pushed far enough. It's like a cat. When a cat's scared, you get in that corner, what are you gonna do? Put that hunch in his back.
Yeah.
He gonna come up out that corner. So just because a person got a gun and he squeezed, he ain't no gangster. That ain't no gangster. That's just somebody who was just about his business, trying to get up out that situation, and who gonna protect himself as a man, But I always tell people the real gangsters are up in the White House, wearing suits, politicians. Those are the gangsters. They make the rules. They make the laws. They make the law and break the law. Those are the real gangsters.
No, for sure. I mean, man, you mentioned that a gangster to you is somebody who doesn't cooperate. They take their lick and they stand up for what they believe in. There's some controversy surrounding you. And people change their perspective on you. If you view that as a gangster, why do you continue to have that in your name if people say that you cooperated? And do you view, like personally, yourself as somebody who cooperated?
I like that question, bro. I like that, man. I really like that question. I said, guys, when I took Shahada, I became Muslim, people asked me the same question which you just asked, right? And I would let them know is this. The hood know me as gangster. When you get my paperwork in court, it's going to be Terrance Gangster Williams. Now, when I changed my life over while I was in prison, and I came up with a non-profit, I had classes in prison, I was like, you know what, when I get out, I'm going to keep the gangster on there because people heard of gangster. So now when you hear the name gangster, a lot of those children are going to be more receptive to hear me come in front of them versus a man or with a suit on. Hi, I'm at Harvard. I'm a graduate from Harvard. You guys need to stay out of... The boy would go to sleep and take that little ball, throw it at him and get him out of here. But I'm coming out, Terrance Gangster Williams. They, okay, he for the hood. I've been shot up, I done been through the blah, 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 blah. Now they're going to be more receptive to listen to my message. Because that gangster. But it's not that I'm holding on to the streets of one street. That's the name I was given. So because I cooperate, you want me to take the name off? I don't care what they say. That's my name. That's my hood's, my nickname, So no matter what they say, you for all that work for nothing. Okay, well tell a victim family, tell a victim homies that all that work was for nothing. People say some of the dumbest stuff, man, because it sounds good. But at the end of the day, work is work. But like I say, I keep that name on because like you said, you got one of the biggest rappers in history, Lil Wayne.
Yeah.
Say my name in a song. So when them little youngsters go back and listen to the way I sound, oh, he was talking about you. You the one he was talking about. Yeah. So if I just go by Terrance Williams, they might think I'm the football player to play for Dallas Cowboys. They might go, Terrance, that ain't nothing. Prime example. If you put Terrance Williams in the YouTube thing, you ain't gonna get nothing. Put Terrance Gangster Williams in there, okay, now they're coming up the woodworks. You know what I'm saying? But, I mean, whether I had a gangster on it or not, I ain't really tripping. They want to take it off. Terrance Emmanuel Williams, that's my whole government name. You know what I'm saying? But at the end, they'll call me Mr. Civilian. Because I'm living in civilian life now, baby. You know, I can't help it that I left a mark in my city. Stepping, riding foreign cars, jewelry, clothes, girls. That was the life I lived. Now I violated. I take my chair, I take my leg, I violated. Okay, cool. I don't want to live that street life no more anyway, because two things happened at the end of that street life. Death or prison. I went to prison. I went to prison at 23 years old, came out in my 40s. I did half of my life in prison. Half of my life in prison, man. So I don't want to do that no more. You know what I'm saying? But if I can help these children, then cool. So it's Terrance Gangster Williams. They like, cause you got a lot of them young boys that look up to people in their neighborhood, gangs and other hood figures, and be like, man, he a real dude. So now I'm coming along with Terrance Gangster Williams. They thinking I'm part of that real dude that they look up to. Mm-hmm. But now here's my spin. I've been shot up 3 different occasions, 5 times. I've been stabbed, car wreck. I did juvenile time, state time, now federal. I done it all, man. So it's up to y'all now to take this. I'm gonna let y'all know, because I was blessed to make it through the federal system. I never won for nothing. Birdman and Slim made sure I didn't want for nothing, bro. Them dudes had an open book for me, bro. Listen, they had an accountant in New York. I would call this lady, Miss Gordon. Miss Gordon, I need $5,000. All right, baby. She's gonna cut that check. She's gonna let Brian know. She's gonna let baby know. Hey, Terrance called. You need $5,000. Go, baby. Gonna say, send it. Miss Gordon, I need $20,000. Send it. Man, listen, bro. I got all my receipts from when I was in prison. That's why you ain't gonna never hear me diss them guys. I would never disrespect them on social media. They took care of me when I needed them. I was partially handicapped in prison, coming through. So I'm living good. I'm penitentiary rich. I'm living good. I'm taking care of my children from prison. I helped. I didn't pay the whole college tuition, but I helped. I paid for 1 semester for my daughter. She graduated from Howard University. I got one daughter. I sent money for her dormitory and paid. She graduated from Tulane University.
Oh, Mississippi?
No, in New Orleans.
Hold on, what Tulane am I thinking of?
I don't know, you tripping, but anyway. Yeah. Tulane and New Orleans Greenway, baby. We won the list championship at Arlington this year. Yeah,
HBCU?
Who, Tulane?
Yeah.
No, they're a private college. Mm-hmm. You go there for like law and stuff. But
I'm thinking of some school with a T then. That's a HBCU.
Tulsa?
I don't know, I have to Google it, man. But
TCU? That's in Texas.
But I do want to ask you this, man. You said so you didn't want for nothing while you were incarcerated.
Right.
But you said you came home with nothing.
Right.
So
I came home to nothing.
So what changed? Like, why were they in your corner? Birdman and Slim, I'm referring to. You said Slim provided you with some money for your documentary, but as far as like, you know, the welcome home, because re-entry, that's challenging for a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? Finding housing, finding transportation, even getting your ID. You know what I'm saying? Finding employment when you got that record.
Right.
So that support system is important, you know, or it's definitely helpful. Like having 2 brothers who are multi-millionaires. Why did you kind of come home like rock bottom? What changed?
Okay, when I was incarcerated, I had a bank account, but I was helping. I don't want to call this rapper name or his brother name, but I helped pay for a mortgage when she was doing bad, right? Helped out. I'm sending money to people, helping out, helping because there's money constantly coming in. And I'm instead of spending, because I'm like, oh, this ain't gonna stop. Them boys signed for $30 million. They got the hottest rappers. from Wayne. Then they went and got the Dream Team, Nicki Minaj and Drake. Come on, man.
Can't go wrong.
So I'm instead of spinning, I'm spinning. Bro, when I got ready to get out of the feds, I had, I think it was $1,200. It was either $1,200, no more than from $1,200 to $1,500 I had in my account in the feds. Mm-hmm. So when I got out, they gave me a card. Actually, I still got that card. He gave me a card, and that was it. I mean, my bank account and it went down from, spinning, helping people out, doing what I do. Excuse me, this is my prep time now. No, we good. No, we let you know. That's why that alarm going on. But because I gotta make sure I keep God first. Cause see, a lot of people be in prison, worshiping God, they come home, forget about that, put the kufi down, or put their Bible down. Now they back with the homies. They want to pick up the fitted cap and that with that thing, the Draco or the F&N. You know what I'm saying? So I know God the one who got me out of prison, so I gotta always keep him first. But anyway, yeah. So I didn't. And then another thing, I didn't know that I was gonna be getting out at that time. So I was gonna hit them boys for some more money right quick. You know what I'm saying? So what happened was, Birdman laid on me too. He was hearing about all the stuff, right? What was going on. So when I came home, I got the phone call. I called him. He was like, yeah, man. Tony Braxton was there at that time, right? So I spoke with her. Talked with her. I heard a lot about you, but we heard her and I chopped it up. Now I'm waiting now to get on the phone with Big Bro, and he about to tell me, well, where you at? I'm about to ship this Phantom to you, or where you at? Come get the house. I'm waiting for that, or give me your. I didn't have no bank account then. I had the credit union, so I'm thinking, right, give me that so I can have some money wired to you. So I'm getting ready for that. I'm like, okay, I'm home. They about to lay it out, right? And Big Bro said, man, what's that hear about this rash to this and that? I was like, yeah, man, that's what's true. He said, man, I respect that, but listen, man, you made that bed, you gotta lay in it. He said, anything you gotta say before I hang up? I thought about it. I said, yeah. He said, yeah, what's that? I said, man, give me a pillow. Because right then and there, I knew I was on my own. So when he told me I made that bed, I gotta lay in it, well, give me a pillow, let me be comfortable then. And the thing about it though, bro, I had weighed all my options in prison, right? So I was prepared for the backlash, right? So when I got the call, when I talked to Birdman and he said what he said, I said, yeah, it's official now. But I'm not gonna cry because I prayed to ask God for two things. One was, let me out of prison while I'm still alive and healthy. And number two was, let me make it home to take care of my mother. Give me a chance to do, because so many guys had lost their mother while they was incarcerated. And I was like, I want to get a chance to take care of my mother. And I got those two. So I was like, anything else was a plus. That's why I don't get upset or be mad about the materialistic stuff. Now, I would like to ride the jet or ride in the family car. I would like to experience that. However, that's not God's plan. So I'm not tripping. You know what I'm saying? I'm content. And then I'm winning. I'm winning. No matter how much they hate on me, no matter what I'm winning, bro.
Man, so that was it's dope for you to have that perspective, considering your circumstances, So that was the last conversation you had with him?
Yeah.
You haven't reached out to talk to him since then?
No, because he's stuck in his way. He under the old law. A rat is a rat, a snitch is a snitch. Tell the tale, beat to get out of here. I ain't messing with you. I gotta respect. Bro, I sat at the round table with these men and made that rule. When I made the rule, I'm looking at him because I'm thinking he was gonna be the weak link. Hey, but you know how you point the finger when somebody point the finger? I got 3 more back at me though. When you point that finger at people, 3 more. So I want to be in a weak link. But I had to get up out of that place, man. That's the choice I made, man. That's the decision. I'm happy with it, man. Because, man, I didn't know they had all this stuff out here. Man, there's some beautiful women out here, bro. Man, listen, I don't know, bro, listen to me, bro. When I go to Walmart, bro, I just be like, my homies, they call it Wally World in New Orleans. They call Walmart Wally World. But, man, when I go to Walmart, bro, there's so much stuff in Walmart and so many women be in Walmart. It's like, I be like, man. I don't be talking like, I don't try to hit on them because I don't know who, old lady, who, man, but I enjoy just the sight. Just looking at that stuff. I be like, man, she's fine. What? Bro, I did half my life in prison around a bunch of miserable men. And bro, listen, I don't care who bad. I don't buy friendships too expensive.
Yeah, I've heard you say that. Yeah.
I mean that. I'm sitting on that right now.
I don't. Oh, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. Bro.
Now, I was gonna ask you, why were you joking when you said y'all were at the round table and you was pointing at him or looking at him because you thought he was gonna be the weak link Birdman, or were you serious?
Did I just say that just now?
Yeah.
I was serious. Yeah. Real talk, bro. Let me tell you something. I play a lot because I've always been that, right? But people who's at that table can contest. Yeah, they can testify to that. That man, yeah, this is what he said. That's why they so hard on me now, because I was young, but I made a lot of rules, because I come up with a lot of old gangsters, you know. So I respect it. That's why I'm not mad with them, because this is what Cash Money was built on: loyalty, principles, and that's what they're gonna keep it. And you know what? Like I tell people, no one is bigger than the brand. Cash Money must go on. You can't worry about me. Go ahead and give me a little, what you call that thing, a little light, that preserve, that little thing.
A life jacket?
Give me that, or that little donut thing. It's jump in the water.
Oh, yeah.
Give me a little something I can still swim.
Little raft.
Yeah, give me a little raft, give me that. You know what I'm saying? And then y'all go on sail off again, and just make it to shore, and then I'm gonna figure it out from there, bro. Yeah. And like I have now, I figured it out.
But I still don't think you explained why you viewed him as a potential weak link, though. Like, what was it about Birdman? Because I heard that he was in the streets and he had paper before the music game, you know.
True, but you
standing on business.
Because, you know, when you look at it, prime example, and people always, like, looking at me coming up, I've always been small. So when people heard gangster, they thought they were going to see a big black gorilla. Because we have a tendency of stereotyping certain people to what we think they might look like or what we think they might be. So me knowing him, he a stunner, he getting money, but I'm looking around the table, I'm like, man, he might be the one gonna be the one to tell. You know how you just be looking around. You never imagine, prime example, you ever seen someone and said this? Something about that dude I don't like. Somebody might just don't care about. You know? So that's how I was. I used to be like, man, something about him, I believe he gonna be the one. And all the while, he wound up being a 5-star general. Big dog. You know what I'm saying? He always kept it solid 1,000. Flying any weather, bro. And I salute him for that. I love him. That's why I'm never going to disrespect him. Because when I needed him, it was there. I don't need him now. I would love to have him, but I can't. These politics, these hood, they allow the streets to enter the entertainment world. So, and when I look at situations, bro, I don't look at it from tunnel vision. I look at it whereas if I was still stepping or if I'd have came home an honorable way, I wouldn't co-sign that. So I always look at it that way and I'm like, you know what? They got a good point. So I don't really trip. But when people come at me on the internet, I don't run from it, I run to it.
No, for sure.
I ain't running from it. I ain't ducking no wreck. Because I'm going to get checked.
Man, you made a point and said that you would like for him to be in your life, but you're not really trying to chase it or force it. Just on the positive side, like coming up, is there like a special moment or are there any experiences, man, that you had with Slim and Birdman that you still cherish or think about to this day?
Well, I don't cherish it, but the moments I had with gangster stuff, getting money and putting gangster action in the streets. So that, no. I just think about, I was happy that I had met 2 older brothers, but they taught me gangster lifestyle.
What you break that down?
One of my first moves, baby come got me. I got in the car, I was excited. I jumped in the front seat. I got a gun in the back of my head now. Whoa, what's going on? So one lesson he taught me. Don't never just jump in the front seat when you got somebody in the back seat. You don't know this person right here to take your life. So a lot of my experience with them was stuff from the game. It wasn't never like, come here, listen, I want you to do good. I want you to go be a lawyer, girl. Nah. So, no, bro. But I would say this though, I just look back, I smile and I just be happy that they from the hood, where I'm from, stayed in the same house I stayed in, and successful. Touched almost, sold 1 billion records. multi-millionaires, man. So it'll make me look at like, well, when I talk to these youngsters with my nonprofit, man, these guys come from where y'all come from. Got it how y'all got it. Come up how y'all come up. And they made it so it's possible for you too. So I could play off their success to my at-risk youth.
Nah, I feel that, man. You talk a lot about Birdman, but you know, Slim is like he the silent one. But I've heard Birdman talk about how he wished he was more like him, like he's a real deal big brother and leader and like the brains. Like, what can you say about him, man, and your relationship with Slim?
Loyal, real, a gangster. Changed his life. You know, he's on focus on positive, and he got cash money. The captain of the ship. We're gonna sell this thing. It's like this here. He don't get caught up in all the bull crap. That's why you never hear me talk too much about him or say so. Cause certain things, it's like, don't forget I was a gangster at one time. Don't play with me. You know what I'm saying? Certain things don't even speak on it. Yeah, so I still keep that respect. I'm gonna always honor and respect that with Slim. Birdman might toy around with him a little bit. For some reason, I just feel like I could beat him. You know, I might be wrong, but with Stutter, you know, I'm a until you know it's one of those situations where he got to be like, hey yo man, I'm the big bro. Don't you know? You let your girls shake. I'm like, hey man, all right, my bad. Slim, I'm not going to much test that at all. I'm not going to much go around that height of water. That you know, that I don't want to trade that water. Period.
And that, you know what's interesting? He's the quiet one.
Yeah.
And Birdman, he got the teardrops on his face, you know what I'm saying? The blood affiliation, all that. He come across like the more, you know, aggressive.
Yeah. Right. But you know they always say the quiet one gets the dangerous one. What the boy said, real bad boy hit hard and move silent. Can you picture a movie, Slim in a movie being a gangster behind the scene but calling all the shots, setting all the hits and got all the work? Well, that'd be gangster.
I want to ask you this too, man. The teardrop. You know, I asked Mr. Marcello this about like people having it. I mean, it's all across now. It's not just in New Orleans, but I feel like that's one of the areas that popularized that. Like, were you around it? Do you know how that started? Because I don't heard you talk about like Killer Stone creating Wody. I don't heard you talk about the first person that kind of had the soldier rag and popularized that, so on and so forth. You know what I'm saying? Like, do you remember when the teardrop became popular?
You know I got teardrops?
Where?
Look close. I got teardrop. You don't see that?
Oh, he being funny.
No, real. All to the side. Look. You don't see teardrop right here? Look on this side over here.
Oh, you got him took off?
I tried to get it before I left to go to the Fed. But I had one on one side and two on the other, and the state used to be like, yeah, here's teardrop, don't let him out, there's a men's society, that's to catch my murder cases. I remember getting these back in 92.
How many you said you got? 3? So one on one side and two on.
Yeah. But they didn't faded, so I just left them. I remember doing that back in 92. Back in 1992, I remember doing that. But it wasn't as popular as it is now. You had people that was... Now, I don't know, let me just say this for people, oh man, this is a... I don't know why everybody else got teardrop. But I know back then when we was getting them, it meant, really meant something. But we was stupid too. Because now you walking and branding yourself saying, yeah, I got a body. Yeah, I caught this body, I caught that, you know what I'm saying? But now everything is a fad now. You know, rappers coming up now, they tatting themselves up. I'm gonna get me a teardrop over here, I'm gonna get me a red rag. What's poppin', Fire? Who put you down? They ain't worry about these days. Go check in with a big homie, he go give you a few dollars, or look man, I'm coming to your town, alright boy, you good.
Or they buying their way in.
Yeah, check in with me, I got you. So, in this day and time, bro, a lot of stuff just changing.
Yeah, I feel you, man. I know it's the internet.
He thought I was playing. He said you.
Nah, yeah, cause you can't really see them until you look close, like, and they still look like you. It's like a specimen of them, like they were there, but you can't really tell unless you had to look close. But I was just asking. I didn't know if you knew like when that was popularized. You know what I'm saying? But you said so the early '90s.
Yeah, the early 90s we was doing that. But like I said, we was doing it, we was like, yeah.
It really meant something, yeah.
Yeah, like now it's like, it's part of their little identity now. Hey, I got Teardrop, boy, I'm a gangster. But mine ain't never shot a gun. Man, I'm not a hold a gun.
Man.
But they got Teardrop.
I don't want you to take this the wrong way, but I am curious to know, like, what were some of your favorite guns? I don't heard you talk about, like, back then, the SKS. I don't heard you
talk about... Why you say women take it the wrong way?
I mean, you know, some people can view that as... I mean, technically, I ain't asked you nothing criminal.
Yeah.
But you know what I'm saying? Just, you know.
Favorite gun?
But no, but that was something I heard you talking about, not to cut you off, the Mag 90, the SKS.
Mac 11.
Shop.
And Mac, I just love the Mac 11. I like the 9mm Ruger. But if I had to have a revolver, I had to have two of them. But, the Mac 11 was my favorite.
Why the Mac 11 in particular?
It was funny shape looking. When I was a juvenile, we had them, and it just, you know, you could just put them in there. And 36, we had the 36 round clip back then. Now they got all kind of foreign clip. They got all kind of stuff. I be like, whoa, they cutting up now. But
so it didn't jam on it, or is that the Tech?
The Tech 9 with the worst gun on them back then.
But not Mac 11 though. Mac 11. Oh.
I heard a rapper say that the Mac 11. I was like, no, he tripping. That Tech 9 though, man, I couldn't stand that gun.
So Mac 11. Mm-hmm. What would be your top three? That's one.
Back then,
yeah,
my top was gonna be you gotta have the AK-47. That's the chopper. Then you're gonna go with that Mag 11 and 9mm Ruger. Cause I like that Ruger because they had the decock. When you cock it back, you can hit that little button and that.
The lemon squeeze. No, you talking about something different.
Yeah, well, like, you know, you cock they put one in the chamber, had a heavy bag, but if you hit the little switch on the side, it go kick. You think it's gonna shoot, but it's not. That's how that Ruger was back then. I used to love that Ruger.
At one point in time, man, it was cash money. It was no limit. You know what I'm saying? They both had their times. It seems like the cash money run was longer than No Limits, but in the heat of things, you know, No Limit really had the torch first though. But with you being somebody who's a street dude but still was attached to cash money or associated with cash money at one point in time, like you mentioned the Sporty T situation, was it ever a point when you ran into anybody like from No Limit, like the Master P or C Murder or anybody like that?
Bro, listen. P did an interview in Fed Magazine. He said, me and Gangsta met up at a park. I didn't know him, he didn't know me, but they was pointing fingers saying I did something to his family member, right? I was like, P capping.
That's not true.
No. P had a cousin on my project named Rashid. Shout out to Rashid. Rashid's a cut my help. I said, man, you tell your cousin, man, I'm trying to see him. When I see him, we're going to hold court. So I never, ever, ever came in contact with P or saw P. A lot of people now be getting a little upset when I say this because they got a lot of C Murder fans. But when we were beefing, when not the Magno, when me and my two co-defendants was beefing with the Calio Project, C Murder wasn't there. C Murder was, I don't know if it was in the Army or in California somewhere. He wasn't, or he was in school, he was doing something, but he wasn't in the streets. C, from the Calio Project, he come up with all these killers and all that. But C was doing something positive, getting, you know, and then once he made it and saw that, he come back and went backwards. Got himself jammed up. So some people be like, oh, you trying to say C wasn't no real street dude? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But he was in the street, but he wasn't stepping when we was stepping. And he's older than I am.
He's older than you?
Yes.
Man. I don't know. I thought you was about to say he was younger than you. That's why you didn't really hear his name ringing.
No, bro, no.
And you know what? Out of the three brothers, C Murder is the one who come across like he the real deal.
Right, because he cool with all the killers, ran with the killers. He had a project. He come back, and got him in a project and hanging out, going to club.
Soldier Slim and all that.
Yeah, so he's running with them.
Yeah.
But I'm talking about when we was in the thick of things. No.
What you think about the story? So you saying he wasn't the real deal? He wasn't no when you was out there.
I'm not saying he was the real deal. I'm saying he wasn't stepping with us.
What you saying?
You trying to throw me in the crowd? You trying to have C-Fan mad with me?
No, I'm really. That was actually I'm glad you brought it up because I was going to when I asked you. I was wondering if you ran into anybody like that because he's on camera. You know what I'm saying?
That would have never happened when we was home. I was so sometimes thinking to when he walked in that Magnolia when he did that little thing. That would have never happened when we was out there.
Why you say that?
That when we was beefing with their president, ain't nowhere in the world you better come back here walking with no camera doing no documentary.
But he was with Soldier Slim.
I don't care who you with, you better know about to come back there, we beefing. It wasn't gonna happen, bro. Them dudes did it. Mr. Marcello, Wango, all the people we beefing with, they on Willow Street talking about Ham, bro.
Yeah.
You never thought that man, that was a slap in my face when I was in the face. I was so ticked off.
You don't feel like that was kind of
No.
ending the beef? Or
No, how you gonna end the beef when we in jail? The beef between me, my quarterfinals in the county, all right, me, Blabber, and Hot Bezo, beefing with the county. We in the feds. So how he ending the beef when he don't got nothing to do with that? We in the field, we ain't co-sign that.
Mr. Marcello?
Yeah, so how he wasn't ending no beef? He was getting money, that's all he was doing, because Dodo was a gangster. Dodo was a stepper. Yeah, the one who was part of the tough guy.
Yeah.
He was that was a real stepper, real gangster.